former acting undersecretary for intelligence at DHS. Good morning, John Cohn.
Good morning.
So, what happened in Hawaii?
Well, on Saturday morning at about 8:05 local time, the state's emergency management organization sent out an alert, which went out over smartphones and TV, basically telling people in the state that there was an inbound ballistic missile and that they should be sheltering. And it said specifically in the message that this was not a drill. That, of course, caused people to panic, to seek to hide, and to protect their children. And for approximately 38 minutes, or it took 38 minutes for the emergency management organization to send out a message saying that this was a false alert.
I'm shocked that this hasn't happened before, but I'm also shocked that it took 38 seconds for them to fix the problem. 38 minutes.
Yes. No, I agree with you. I mean, mistakes happen, and obviously state authorities need to look closely on how this message was able to get out in the first place. But as a former Homeland Security official, both at the state level and at the national level, it's shocking to me that even though the fact that the message went out was discovered within minutes by senior state officials and officials at the Department of Homeland Security, which many people may not know is responsible for coordinating our emergency alert systems around the country, even though both state officials and federal officials had direct contact with NORAD, the North American Air Defense Command, and knew that this information was false, it still took 38 minutes for a correct message to go out.
Do we know if anything went to Washington, went to the Pentagon, went to the Situation Room? How far did this false alarm go?
Well, we know, based on statements made by Department of Homeland Security, FEMA, that within a few minutes after the initial message going out, they were aware. Now, they would be aware through two means. One, there's a National Operations Center, which monitors social media and other media sources for reports of major incidents. So this came to their attention that way. Secondly, there's an integrated emergency alert system that FEMA runs. So they have essentially a connection with state emergency alert systems, and the department was made aware that way. Having been in situations like this before, there's no doubt in my mind that once knowledge of this was known by DHS headquarters and by FEMA, that there was very quickly communications with DOD, Department of Defense, and others to try to ascertain what was going on.
So you're saying because these secondary people knew it was fake, did they then send out, hey, it's a mistake, or did these people ratchet it up the wrong information?
No, it sounds like they were able to determine very quickly
that it was fake.
That there was a false message.
Okay.
What's a little disturbing is that it sounds like it took almost 30 minutes for them to get a correct message out.
Gotcha. Now, John Cohn, they're saying it was one person who hit the wrong button. Is it that simple to send out something like this?
Well, it shouldn't be. We have to remember the purpose of these emergency alert systems is to get information out quickly so that people can react quickly. Minutes can save people's lives. So there are pre-created messages, and there are processes in place that, if needed, those messages can go out quickly over the widest range of communication devices, TV, radio, smartphones. It sounds like, but there should be a safety catch in there. There should be a system where two people have to authenticate that the message is real. So that's one of the things that Hawaii is going to have to take a hard look at to see if they can put more safety into the system.
Was this a Hawaiian state problem, or was this a federal problem?
The message going out initially, that clearly fell under the responsibilities of the state of Hawaii. It was the State Emergency Management Organization, people working within that organization, which took the steps that sent that message out. But your question raises a really good point, because one of the things that we've done after September 11th is try to really improve our national capability to send out emergency alerts. And whether it's for a tsunami or an earthquake or a weather event or a terrorist attack or in today's age, something such as this, we need to be able to get warning messages out to people quickly so people can take appropriate action that can save lives. And so once the federal authorities became aware of this, it's my position, at least as a former Homeland Security official, that more should have been done to get a corrective message out.
Yeah, you're saying the biggest sin of all this was that it took 38 minutes to alert the public this was a false alarm.
Exactly. I mean, we've heard, the gut-wrenching reports over the weekend of people who are having to make a decision about which of their children they should spend their last few minutes with, people who are hiding in their bathtubs with their children, with people sobbing or saying prayers. I mean, one, we want people to take these messages seriously because it can save lives. But for 38 minutes, we had people who believed that their life was coming to an end. And government has to take responsibility not to allow those things to happen.
John Cohn, ABC News consultant and former acting undersecretary for intelligence at the Department of Homeland Security. Sir, thank you for your time. Great stuff.